Happy Mother's Day, and this is Mother's Day week. I will say that as we start this new week in May. We're talking May 11th here, and a lot going on this week. You know me, I am the eternal optimist. I'm always positive about what's going on, but I tell you what, I'm a little concerned with what's going to happen this week with interest rates, and here's why. We're going to start off with it was the last thing on my list of things to talk about, but Middle East tensions. It's already apparent that Iran is going to play the long game, and I don't know how much patience we have. In particular, I don't know how much patience President Trump has with regards to not taking more military action against Iran to get us the conditions that we want to stop this war. So really, as we begin the week, that is one of my bigger concerns. There's another thing that's happening this week, actually, with economic reports. We have this CPI. This is a consumer price index. It is a look at inflation. And inflation, if we see a pop in inflation, which is entirely possible, that could send interest rates higher as well. And we know that the energy prices have been pushing across the board up. Will we see that? It happened last month. Will we see that this month? We also have an ISM Services Index report coming out on Tuesday, which could move markets because it talks about the services, and most of our businesses are about providing services. And we know that services make up most of the economy, and they carry inflation signals. So if we see that the cost of doing business is going up, you get some sticky pricing, well, you know what? That's not going to help interest rates either. And here's the other thing. We have several Fed speakers just speaking this week across the country, and if they show some trepidation, some concerns with inflation, maybe even talk of raising the Fed funds rate, that will also send interest rates higher. We also have weekly jobless claims, and while we are at historical lows for weekly jobless claims, we did move up to 200,000 last week. And we're down around 1.7 for continuing claims. If we see continued lower numbers, then that shows that, the economy is pretty strong. We don't have a lot of people who are reporting themselves as unemployed and claiming initial jobless claims. So if the numbers are higher, well, that's good for interest rates. If the numbers are lower, if they continue to drop, well, that just shows that the economy is strong and interest rates could go up. And again, that's further fuel for the Fed not to lower the Fed funds rate, maybe even raise the Fed funds rate. As for the rest of the economic news next week, we do have a lot of stuff coming up. We have existing home sales report on Monday. We'll see where we're at there. I'm not really sure where we're going to be. We have 10-year Treasury auction on Tuesday, as well as the CPI. We have the Producer Price Index on Wednesday. Producer Price Index is a wholesale measure of inflation. That actually those numbers go into the PCE at the end of the month, the Personal Consumption Expenditure, which is really the Fed's favored measure of inflation. We also have a 30-year Treasury bond auction. Thursday, we get retail sales report. That's a big one. And minus autos. So what are the numbers looking like for retail sales? Are they up? Are they down? Again, if they're up, that just shows a heating economy, which is contrary to most of what we see and read in the news. And you want to say the numbers don't lie. If people are spending money, well, they're either lying to themselves, or the numbers are lying to us. I'm not really sure which one that is. And then Friday, we do have the New York Empire Manufacturing Index and Capacity Utilization Report. As we start this week, the big news is what's happening in the Middle East. Oh yeah, and the other big thing, President is going to be in China this week. At least that's the plan. What kind of trade is going to come out of? What kind of trade agreements are going to come out of that meeting? What will we get in rare earth mineral rights? There's a lot that could happen in this meeting. I am sure President Trump is going to be talking to President Xi Jinping about what is going on with their support to Iran, because Iran, if they are emboldened, well, who's backing them up? Probably China. Russia's got their own problems right now, so it's probably China. I think President Trump may put some pressure on China to ease their support for Iran. That is speculation, but that's pretty much what I'm seeing, because Iran is continuing to lob drones and missiles across the Middle East, which is creating some angst, and obviously will push mortgage rates up, will push stock market down probably. So those are things that we're looking at. Let's take a look at rates. The reports are that we ended the week kind of better than we were at the beginning of the week. I don't believe it. I'm looking at 6.4 to 6.6% conventional. To me, we're heading back up to that 7% range. That's no bueno as we head into the prime selling season of the year, and that could really put a damper on the housing market. We're already in the third year of a housing recession, people. We don't need higher rates. We need rates to come down. And, VA rates, I think we started the week at 5.94. We ended the week at 5.95. This is the average. This isn't necessarily my rates, but these are average rates across the country. And, they're a little higher. I mean, that's the bottom line. They're a little higher they were to start this week than they were as we started last week. We need some lady luck with interest rates. Come on now, all you mothers out there, let's pray for some good interest rates this week to help our buyers out. That's about all I got for you guys this week. You have a great week. We'll talk to you later. Aloha.